the EU has launched negotiations for an ambitious and comprehensive trade agreement with Australia. Oh, did you hear that? They launched these negotiations. So for those always saying we want an Australia-style deal, there is no trade deal with Australia at the moment. I can just start with that already. But let's continue with the topic. The EU is Australia's second biggest trade partner. The bilateral trade in goods has risen and risen over the years, and it was at about 48 billion in 2017. And bilateral trade in services added another 27 billion to that. And with a trade deal, according to an impact assessment, trade in goods and services between these two partners could increase by around a third. And the aims from the EU side for this trade negotiations are to remove barriers and of course by this helping EU firms, especially smaller ones, to export more. And to put European companies that are exporting to Australia or doing business in Australia on an equal footing with those countries trading in Australia who have signed up to the Trans-Pacific Partnership or other trade agreements with Australia. And there are ambitious provisions on trade and sustainable development, showing a shared commitment to labor rights and environmental protection, and that includes climate change in trade. Of course, in these negotiations, each side wants to protect something, and the EU, of course, wants to protect distinctive regional EU food and drink products from imitation in Australia. The Australian side will do similar things in these talks, I'm quite sure about that. And the EU wants to get access for EU companies to participate in government procurement in Australia. The Council of the European Union has authorized opening these negotiations in May 2018, so it's not that long ago, and you know how long it takes to usually achieve trade agreements. But in this case, this agreement will build on the ongoing trade negotiations with several Asia-Pacific countries, allowing the EU to develop and deepen ties with one of the most dynamic economic regions of the world. Before negotiations like this happen, every side usually makes a study to find out which of our products are very sensitive to certain developments. And that led to the conclusion that the sensitivity of the EU agricultural sector has really to be protected. And so, of course, the EU does not want full liberalization in the agricultural sector. So they have to find a different solution there. There will probably be quotas on both sides. There will be tariffs, but all these are negotiated one by one. That's why, for example, other trade agreements took 5, 7, 10 years to negotiate. And the EU does not have a proper bilateral trade agreement with Australia at the moment. And that means that EU companies have less favorable conditions in Australia compared to companies from other countries. So getting this trade deal will of course be good for companies in the EU. And of course it will be good for Australia as well. Both sides will have benefits from a trade agreement that they will have negotiated in the end. And at the same time, the EU also is negotiating with New Zealand, the direct neighbor to Australia, but I'll come to that in another video. But if you want to see more videos and want to know more about European politics from a German point of view, I put my next video in the end screen. Click and enjoy. I'll see you there. Viel Spaß!